Hi, Gaye DeRusso with Majestic Rider. So today I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about the Gaye horse, because a lot of people have problems with Gaye or forward horses. If you have a Gaye forward horse, or that's the kind of horse that you want, what you need to make sure that you are is a relaxed rider, a calm rider, someone who's not going to get really scared if all of a sudden that horse gets faster. You need to make sure you give and take with your hands, because if you just hold the horse, they get confined and they want to get away from you, so they will just get faster. So you need to learn to do your half halts and give and take. The release is very important, so the horse knows he's doing the correct thing. With your body, you need to stay relaxed. You need to keep breathing and not tense up. A lot of people, when they get tense, and they don't know this, they grip with their legs because they want to hold on, or they're used to riding horses, that were not gaited, and we had to hold on because they were bouncy or would bounce off. With the gaited horses, they're so smooth, you can just sit there like you're sitting in a chair with your legs totally relaxed. The only time you need to hold on is if they were spinning or something like that, and then you can squeeze your thighs together to hold you in the saddle. But the rest of the time, you want your legs completely relaxed. Horses that are forward or Gaye, sometimes it's because the riders have chased them into being like that, and other horses are super sensitive, just like people are sensitive. And so those horses that are sensitive, you have to be very light with your aids. Like, lots of people want the horse to go, so they cluck and squeeze at the same time. That is overload for a Gaye or forward horse. If you're on a Gaye or forward horse, what you want to do is just think go first. Don't even put any leg or anything. Just think you want to go, relax your arm a little bit so that horse knows it can go forward. Now, if it goes forward enough, that's all you got to do. If he doesn't go, then you put the lightest leg on him. If he doesn't go, then you slowly add more and more leg until that horse goes. If he still won't go, then you can cluck. But you want to slowly and gradually add your aid so he gets used to it and doesn't get overload. Those Gaye or forward horses, you never want to kick them because you might make them explode or scare the crap out of them. So you want to ride them very relaxed. You want your body relaxed. You don't tense up your butt. Don't ride with your seat. Don't squeeze your thighs. Just sit there with your legs around them with the lightest leg and try to kind of ride them with your mind. When you want them to go sideways, of course, you have to teach them to go sideways first. But then once you're doing it, you want to use your weight. You want to use your reins, and then your leg is going to be last, because these horses, again, are very sensitive. Now, in time, some of these horses will really dull down, and then you can use your leg a lot more. And then you might be going, I can't believe I have to use so much leg on this horse. Then you can sensitize them again. But in the beginning, you need to use the least amount, and that's why it's important to know how that horse was ridden before. If he was very Gaye, if those riders did not have their legs on that horse at all, and you keep riding with a lot of leg or holding onto that horse is going to keep going really, really fast. So just remember, if you have a Gaye forward horse, or that's what you want, you need to be a relaxed, calm rider that does not get upset with speed, that can give and take on the reins, and can relax yourself so that horse can have a comfortable ride. If you're tense and that horse is tense, it just makes the situation worse. Just like if there's a really calm horse and the rider is too calm, then they might not be able to get that horse to go at all. So if you're a good rider or good trainer, you're able to adjust those things. But most people cannot, and so they just need to find that right horse that works for them. Okay? So just remember, the Gaye forward horse, calm, breathing, relaxed seat, ride with other calm riders in good situations, get the control at home before you take it out on trail. It might take many months to get there. That's okay. It doesn't matter how long it gets there, as long as you get there correctly. When you're riding these horses, a lot of it is about the training and showing the horse that he can actually go slow and go relaxed. If that horse has its head way up in the air, it is not relaxed. A horse that is relaxed will have its head lower. So if you're trying to get a horse to calm down, you need to bring its head down. Now, I teach them to bring their head down from pressure, but some people can't do that, or you have no help. So there are always tools that you can use to help bring the horse's head down, and you'll see a lot of trainers use them. Those are things such as draw reins, running martingale, German martingale. The standing martingales are not going to help you as much. It'll help so the horse can't get its head super high, but they use them more in jumping. So on the trail, well, in the arena, the draw reins and the German martingale and the running martingale, all those are fine. But on the trail, it's not so safe to ride with some of those things because it's holding the horse's head down. You want something that'll give. So if you got in a problem and the horse needed to use its head and neck to balance himself or catch himself, he'd be able to do it. And that's where the running martingale comes in. So the running martingale is going to be the safest one on the trail, because if you push your arms forward or you drop your reins, that horse can use its head and neck as much as he needs to, where with the other tools, they won't be able to. So hopefully I'll get time to make a video and show you how to use a running martingale and how to set it up and all of that. To get the horses calm, I work a lot on teaching them how to bring their head down, giving to lateral pressure and then vertical pressure. I also use, I teach them in a snaffle bit, like on the ground, how to walk on the lunge line, how to walk with side reins and a surcingle, and just relax and walk. And then when I'm riding them, I will use a bit that will give me more control. If you're riding a forward or Gaye horse, and you put a snaffle in its mouth and you're not very good with your hands, you're not very strong, and you're not in an arena, or you don't know what to do when it gets faster, you're going to have a major problem. All that horse is going to learn is that he can pull on that snaffle bit. So all those people are telling you, oh, just put him in a snaffle bit. They probably have not ridden a very forward or Gaye horse, because some of these horses are out of control and they will take you like a crazy train ride off somewhere and never slow down for miles and miles and scare the hell out of you. So what I do is I ride with enough bit to get that horse under control, and then once the horse understands to go slow, I can be very light with my hands. And if he gets really quiet, of course I can go to a lesser bit. But if sometimes here and there he does get very strong, I'm going to keep that stronger bit in his mouth, because I want to be safe and I don't want that horse to get hurt either if he gets really scared and takes off. So I got to be able to stop that horse. I'm going to use a bit that's a shank bit, and it's going to be a longer shank because that's going to give me more control, and I'm going to use a curved chain. Okay, that's what I'm going to use. If the horse is horrible, I might even use a correction bit. Okay, and people look at them and they're like, oh my God, those are so scary. Bits are only scary in the wrong hands. Okay, so you got to know that. So first you got to teach the horse what to do. I teach him on the ground. That's the easiest first. Then when you get up in the saddle, it's not so hard. And then I'm light with my hands. I'm yanking or being really harsh with those bits. The bits are just there if the horse gets too fast, so I can slow it back down and show it what to do. If it gets too fast and I can't slow it down with the snaffle, how am I going to show it what to do, right? I can't. So you use enough bit to help you have control, and then you try to be soft with those hands. The longer the shank, the quicker the message gets to the horse's mouth. So if you have a longer shank and that's a fast horse, you're going to be able to control it more. So there's 5-inch shanks and then there's 7-inch shanks. So if it's a really Gaye forward horse and I can't control it with the 5-inch shank, I'm going to go to the 7-inch shank. And then over time, I'm going to get lighter and lighter and lighter with my hands. And I'm always trying to give and tell them they're doing the right thing when they put their head down, so they know that's the thing that they're supposed to do. And then give them rewards with either rest, or you can give them a little treat. And that will get it through to their mind much quicker what they are supposed to do. So then I always ride them in the arena first, let them understand what they're supposed to do and get that much better. Then I'll start riding around the barn once they're better. And then once they're good with that, then I start going out on trail. Then I start going further and further over time. I make sure all that is good before I start riding with other people. When I do ride with other people, I'm going to ride with calm horses. I'm not going to ride with any spooky horses, and I'm not going to ride with any super fast horses that the people are out of control. Or I'm not going to ride with people that normally want to run, or they're goofy, or they're out of control, or they're not all about the rest of the riders. So my whole thing is to teach the horse what to do, slowly get him there, and then put him in situations where he's going to succeed. I don't want to put him in situations where he's going to fail. And what situations would that be? I go with a bunch of people that don't know how to ride, or ride their horses too fast, or I put spooky horses around me which scare my horse, which then makes him want to go faster. I don't want to ride with people who are going to run towards home. That's just going to make my horse worse. And when I start with groups, I start with small groups. You start with one horse. Once he's good with one horse, you go to 2 horses. Once he's good with 2 horses, you go to 3 horses, and you slowly build your way up. That's how you increase the horse's confidence, make him confident in his job. The way to ruin his confidence and to ruin your any of the training that you put on and take it all off and say, hey, this is a horrible horse, is to put him in the wrong situation. That's when you put them in with a whole bunch of people who don't know how to ride. Everybody's crazy. Your horse gets out of control. They take off. You try to hold your horse back. He rears up. They start running up stuff. The horse says, hey, I'm quicker running with those horses if you're off of my back because you're slowing me down because you're a little heavy up there. And so he bucks you off. And what's he do? Then he runs away and he catches up to the other horses. So it's all about who you're with, what you taught your horse to do, and then being able to control it. But if you take a horse that's really going, you can't control it. Sticking a snaffle bit, good luck with that. And you ride it with 20 people that are out of control on a trail ride, all running. What's going to happen? You're probably going to cry. You're probably going to get scared. The horse is going to get scared. And it's going to be a hell of a ride. And by the time you're done, you might have crapped your pants, pissed on yourself, and your arms are going to be killing you. Okay? So there's no reason to scare you. There's no reason to scare the horse. You have to take it slowly, work your way up, get yourself in situations, make it successful. Okay? Now, if that doesn't make sense to you, think of it this way. If you're going to a new job, and I take you to a new job, and I slowly show you what to do, then I give you time to work on it. And then as the weeks go by, I give you more and more harder things to do. And you're like, oh, this isn't so bad. And I work your way up, and I'm there to help you. If you have any questions, you can come to me. I'll show you what to do when you don't know what to do. And then we slowly build your confidence up. And then over time, what happens is you become a really good worker. Everybody's jealous of you because you're doing a great job. Okay? Now let's take the other situation, which everybody's been in. You get in a new job. You have no idea what to do. They go, here, you go over there, and they tell you really quickly what your job is. And then they leave you. And you're like, what? What am I supposed to do? I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. And you ask the person next to you, like the horse asks the horse next to him, like, what am I supposed to do? And he goes, I don't know. I've been here 3 years. I still don't know what the hell's going on. They take us out and they run us. I guess we're just supposed to run. And he goes, okay. And so that's what happens. So the horses go out there, they run, they get crazy, okay? So same thing with your job. If they show you slowly what to do, you'll get the job. You might not have any clue what you're doing, but if people take time, anybody can be trained to do things. You might not be the greatest person at it, but you'll do a decent job. So it's the same thing with the horse. He might not be great at it, but it'll be decent if you do it right. If you do it wrong and you put them in the wrong situations, they're not going to do well. All right, one more story. I hear this lots of times. So they get the horse and they say, the horse is fantastic. And I'm like, why do you want to sell him? Because they want me to sell him, or they do train him. And they go, well, he's great all the time. But when I go on those group rides, I go, what group rides? How big are they? Oh, I don't know, anywhere from 50 to 100 horses. When I go on those rides, the horse is out of control. It's rearing, it's bucking, it's doing all the stuff. And I go, well, are they walking? Are you in big groups? Are you in little groups? No, we're in big groups. We're all going together. There's all these horses going around. All these horses are out of control. And I go, how often do you go on these rides? Once a year. And so I go to them. So your horse doesn't need training if he's good with all the other stuff. What you need to do is not go on these rides anymore. And they're like, but I want to go on these rides. And I go, okay. Then you need to go on these rides more often. You need to get your horse used to it in smaller situations. You know, start with groups of 5, then groups of 10, then groups of 20, and keep working your way up until that horse gets so used to it that it's not a big deal. And they go, well, I don't want to do that either. And I go, well, then I can't help you because I don't have those rides to work in to train the horse. There's not those rides all the time that I can take them in, so I can't fix the horse. And you need to be realistic about the situation. If I was going to ride in those big groups all the time, you need a really calm horse. You need a horse that's not competitive, and you might need a horse that's pretty dead quiet. So if he does get amped up, it's not that much. But you can't take a regular horse that's not used to those things, shove him in that situation, and expect him to do a good job. If he does, well, that's fantastic, because you have the random horse that can actually do that really well, because most of them can't. So that's awesome. But just know there's not many horses out there like that can do that job. Just like people, there's not many people you can stick in a job, they don't know what to do, and they just figure that job out. Some people can, but not everybody can. The majority cannot. They need instruction. So you need to plan your things well. Plan for success, especially if you're older. Don't get yourself in bad situations. Always remember you can get off and walk. But when you're doing these things, it always needs to be calm. And these forward horses that people are getting and riding, You need to be a relaxed rider. If you're a tense rider, you're not going to help that horse. You need relaxed, calm. You know, horses that are real slow, you can be nervous on them. But Gaye horses, you can't be real nervous on them. You need to learn how to relax, calm yourself, and do that in the arena before you can ever take it out on the trail.